Let me quickly brief you about myself. My name is Amarjeet, and I'll be the one who will take care about this React session. So let me take you to what React is and what the other areas are. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I request everyone to be remain, proactive in a chat, be interactive because that will help us to give you the more better experience during the time of learning. Okay. So here we're going to start working on the idea of what exactly the React is and what React actually does. Okay, so before I proceed ahead, so few things we wanted to make sure that we have it. So we need two softwares to be installed in your machine. The first, which is talking about it, is known as called your VS Code, and second, what we required is called Node.js version 18. So please confirm if we have both the softwares are in place. Just put me answers in the chat. Yes, everybody, please confirm if we have both the softwares ready installed in our machine. Just update me in the chat if it is, because these are the two important softwares which we needed it during our development. VS Code will be used as an editor for us, okay? And Node.js will be using it as a what? Our platform. So remember these two things, okay? So we required VS Code editor and we also required Node.js. Okay, so I'm sure the both the softwares are available to us. So first, I would like to tell you about some history about React so that you all get the clear-cut picture. But could you please type in the version which you have it installed in your machine? Just type the version in your chat window. Thanks, Ravish. Others, please keep me posted. Thanks, Arun. Great. So I could see the versions are appropriate as we are looking forward for. Okay, and let me have a quick brief about what your current learning is all about. Okay, so what we want to do right now here is I would like to discuss about a term name called what everybody React.js. Okay, so you need to understand about a few aspects of React.js, friends. React.js is one of the very popular library. What type of library? It is a typical library to develop the user interface, which can lead to SPA. SPA stand for what? Everyone? Single page application. Now, the idea behind a single page application is very simple. Okay. See, you need to understand the idea behind a single page application. Nowadays, in a modern technologies, you know it very well. We people use a lot of, I can say, applications in your browser as well as in your desktop. So when you are developing or using your application in your desktop as well as for your mobile, you do not need to end up with creating two different type of websites. In fact, you want the entire experience should be intuitive and completely clutter free. There was a time when we used to develop the application for two different type of sources, mobile as well as for the desktop. And now you can see the multi-screen size devices are already available. Whether you talk about what to say, iPads that comes in a different sizes. You talk about mobile, they also come in different sizes. Desktop, different sizes again. So how you can utilize that experience for the end user, that's where exactly the concept of single page application. So the single page application, there are so many competitors are available in market. We talk about a term name called what Angular. You talk about what React. Okay, what I'm saying. You talk about what Angular. You talk about React, and also one very popular that is known called what Vue.js. So there are three very popular competitors are available in market, okay, which are offering you absolutely out of the box experience for developing the single page application experience. As you know, today the generation is very much use or you can say very much prone to use when two very common social media platform, one is called Facebook and second is called what Insta, correct? So when we see Facebook and Insta, both different type of websites, okay, they are now everybody using it. So whether you are from age group 10 plus, whether you till age 80 plus, everybody is on Facebook, on Instagrams to share their daily life experience or to know about others. So these two tools are very, very famous and useful for end user experience. And that's why you treat both of them as a what? As your daily life, I can say platforms, or you can say the apps. So you need to understand the Facebook and React and the Facebook and Insta, or both of them, the core language is what? React.js. And you are quite, familiar that these two websites, and not only these websites, there are so many Fortune 500 companies which are using React.js for their internal product development. Actually, it is originated from the Facebook headquarters. Later on, it became a open source for everybody to use. And that's why exactly today you will consider this React.js is used everywhere on the platform because of its simplicity. One more implementation about React.js you will see it is basically the component centric architecture. What I'm saying is a component centric architecture. What is the idea behind this component centric architecture? Guys, the main idea behind the component centric architecture is that you develop your application which is component centric. What is a component actually? Component, if you see, it is known as called what? A lightweight view. What is so called? A lightweight view. What do you mean by lightweight view? A kind of user interface where you really don't need those proper HTML pages to be developed because proper HTML pages takes time to load. And the component, which is a lightweighted view, it does not take that much of time to load and give you the consistent experience throughout your journey. So components are so-called view, but they're not as heavy as like an HTML. They are the templates, okay, which can be used to break down the complex UI into the smaller parts. And that's where exactly the concept of what the component-centric architecture is being used. So if I just give you one very simple example, let me open up one website here, name called Facebook. So if I just open up this Facebook, you will understand one thing. And what's that? Let me open my images. Now, if you see this Facebook, what you understand here, everybody, what you understand here is you see here, this is the page, correct? So in this page, you will understand this page is divided by many different small scale user interfaces. Above that, you can see the stories going on. Left hand side, you see there are some links. Below that, there are some shortcuts here, some user feeds here. You see some settings. Below that, there is a chat window. So what you understand here is the complete page. It is one page, but in this one page, you've got many different experience being used together as a one single page. That is so-called single page application. It's a classical example of single page application. You do not end up with creating different pages. In the one page itself, there's a complex view that's been divided and distributed. So here, every single thing is a component. This is a component, this is a component, this is a component, this is a component. So these components are broken down into the smaller portions or the pieces and give the more simplified versions of development. And I'm sure that you're clear. Same thing goes with Instagram and many other applications today, what you are planning to develop. Everywhere it goes like this. Okay, so I'm sure that you understand the idea behind using single page application. So we will start implementing the single page application for our development, but you need to understand the core language behind this is known as called what? ES6. What is the core language behind this? Is known as called what? ES6. ES6 is a core language for React development. ES6 is a new revolution for the JavaScript front because this has changed the way how the JavaScript development can take place. So in a modern development, if you see, the JavaScript has matured a lot over the period of time, but there are still some lags. It is a browser dependent, not dependent, I was a browser incompatible. Sometime when you develop a code, may work on one browser, there's no guarantee it's going to work in other browsers too. So these are the some challenges which everybody faces nowadays while working with the JavaScript. ES6 is a step towards creating some object-oriented experience to the JavaScript because you know the JavaScript is a functional programming. ES6 is a step towards bringing you kind of object-oriented nature so that your application can get those flavors which you actually demand or actually expect. But those ES6 syntax may not be understood by all the browsers. And the previous history, as I say, that the browser, all the JavaScript not necessarily is going to work across all the browsers. It will work, but not as expected. So you need something known as called what? Transpiler. What this transpiler will do? It will convert your ES6 code into what? To the browser. What I'm saying? Browser compatible JavaScript. And that's what exactly the transpiler does. So this transpiler is very, very popular. What transpiler I'm talking about? I'm talking about a very popular transpiler that is known as called Babel. So if you open up the one tool called Babel, so you will see it is telling you it is what transpiling the JavaScript into what? Into the browser compatible JavaScript code. So this is a transpiler, you can say compiler, which just does magic for you. And it's used by internally by React to get those magic done. Okay, so this is a Babel. So we understood what the Babel is. There's another very popular tool here is used that is called Webpack. Webpack is known as called a bundling tool, which is responsible to bundle your assets. Assets like in what? Assets like in CSS, images, or else you talk about HTML, okay, and many more. You talk about JavaScript also. So ultimately, Webpack is one of the very, very popular bundling tool, which is responsible to bundle all those assets together so that you can load it far faster compared to the standalone tools or the standalone, I can say the components, right? So if you search for Webpack, you will understand this Webpack is the one which does this option for you. So if you just see Webpack is one of the very, very popular tool used in the development. Okay, everybody? So this Webpack is way, way, way popular. So we will be using this Webpack. You can see there are a lot many different files are there. So this is organizing it. Okay. So I'm sure that you understand the real meaning behind what using this Webpack. Okay. So we will be using this React for our development. So what the first thing we're going to do right now in our code So first we will try to create the first project. So what I'll be doing now in your
Amarjit, I have one question.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so you told us that ES6 is closer to object-oriented program, right? So uh, compared to previous ES5 version. So can you little bit explain that? I mean, how it is closer to object-oriented program?
Because why? Because you can develop all the classes the way you develop in Java. You can still implement all the interfaces the way you developed in Java. So if you just see here, I'll tell you. Okay. So suppose if you just go for ES6, suppose you take ES6, suppose this is an example. Okay. So in this ES6, you see, you can create what the classes like that. Can you see this classes? This is how earlier you used to develop. And this is how in ES6 you can do. Can you see this?
Yes. Okay.
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 So apart of that, you also see some other benefits too. Like you talk about classes, you see there are list is quite lengthy. Class, expressions, inheritance. You see this inheritance, correct? So the way you develop the Java code. See, can you
Oh,
see this line?
yes. Oh,
So if you want to little bit spend more time on this ES6, so this is the best website for you to spend time on.
okay. Okay.
Okay, I just paste the link of this website for all of you in a chat so that whenever you get a time, you can at least review and check how it is that. It is fantastic. Okay, now if you want to start working on this React application, okay, so what you can do is here in my document, I'm going to create the new folder. Okay, and I'll open up my VS Code editor. And okay, and open up this folder right here. You see, I have got this. Can you please open that first? Just let me know once you opened up. Done. So here, once you're ready, what you need to do, you have to type the very first command. You see there's an option called terminal. Do you see this option terminal here?
Yes.
In this terminal, you see there's an option called new terminal. And I just wanted to check, are you people using this Windows machine or Mac?
Windows.
Windows. So if you're using Windows, so make sure that you do not have PowerShell here. If you have a PowerShell from the drop down, you can select the command from here. Again, repeating, do not use the PowerShell for this, use command prompt only. Okay, and type the first command here. Okay, make sure that you are inside this IBS React, and here the type the first command name for what npm space I space -g space create hyphen react hyphen app. So this will be helping you to create the new, download the new React project for your applications. It'll take few seconds. Done, the first one. After that, you have to type a second command name called create hyphen react hyphen app space my hyphen app. So my hyphen app is my project name. This is a command. Okay, so I copy this command and paste it here. And this is going to create a new project for me. It'll take few seconds. Once it is ready, kindly update me in a chat. Please confirm if there is some issue.
Hello, Amarjit.
Be posted once you're done.
Uh, but I haven't received that.
Which command you're saying?
Create. Yes.
This one.
Both.
So these are the command. If you want, I can just copy and paste both the commands here in a chat.
Thanks.
One by one, you have to execute them. Yes, everyone ready?
Amarjit, I'm getting an issue. Create React app command not found.
Sorry,
I have put that in the chat. Could you please check the chat?
command not found. Create hyphen react hyphen app. Sir, you are using Mohammed. You are using this what to say Windows machine, or you're using what?
Windows.
Windows.
Yeah.
So have you selected that command prompt CMD here? Have you selected command prompt here?
Oh, sorry. It wasn't bash. That's very.
No, 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 no. It has to be command prompt.
Oh, sorry for that.
Others, please confirm. Are you all ready?
Previous command is still running. Abhijit.
Okay. After that, what I have to do? I have to use cd space my app, and you have to use npm space start. And your project will be picking up. Okay. Sorry. Let me use sudo. The project is started. Kindly confirm if you all are set and update me.
Amarjit, I'm getting an error, uh, the same error, even though after I just changed that to command prompt, which is terminal.
The problem is still not sorted.
Yes. If you want, I can paste that stack trace. What issue I'm getting?
No, no problem. Can you help me to share your screen?
Okay. Let me know if able to see my screen.
Okay, so what command you're using? Create React tab.
This one.
Okay,
So after this, I'm getting this one.
okay. Can you use npx before? Copy the same command and use the npx before, npx.
Okay.
Then continue, Hana, hit enter. It is starting now. Others, please keep me posted in the chat once you all are set, please. Just type done in the chat window. So Ravish, your problem is sorted. You're still getting the same issue.
It's sorted now. It's working. I used NPX.
Okay. Guys, we have 2 more minutes. Kindly quickly update me if you're all set. Okay. So I'm sure that when you say this line, call what? CD space inside your project, and you say npm space start, you are able to see this. Everyone, are you?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody? Okay, everybody. So once it is done, what we need to do now? So you see there's a one file name called app.js. You see this now?
Uh,
Okay. You see there's a one index.html file. There is another public folder. You see this? Everyone, you see this now? There's a one. Everybody, there is a one index.html file. Let me try to remove it. The additional comments, whichever we have written here. Okay. So that your HTML file will look quite compact now. So this is the HTML file which will be made available to you when your project start. So this browser, what you see, it comes from the index.html file. But for your kind information, I want to tell you, like your index.html file more or less looks like in blank, correct? Everyone, correct?
Yes.
Your index.html file more or less looks like in blank because your body contains almost nothing. Then from where the data is coming up? The data is coming up from where? Everybody, from everybody, app.js. You see this now. From where it is coming up? App.js. So this app.js is a component for you which is by default created, and this is the app.js file which is made available to the index.html page and bringing some of the messages back to the user. But this app.js is nowhere mentioned in your index.html file. There's no link between both of the files. But still you're able to see this outcome. The answer is how? Is very simple answer for that. Because app.js and index.html, so they are not associated with each other. There is a one file name called index.js file. Which file? Everybody? Index.js file. And this index.js file is the one. Everybody, this index.js file is the one which actually does what? Everybody, a magic for you. And what this index.js file does? Everybody, what this index.js file does? This is the one which loads the app component and render this component where? Come on, to the root location of your index.html file. What is the root? You see, it is a div ID. So here, your new component called app is being loaded. So what graphically, if I just see here, what is happening here? Everybody, what is happening here? This is your index.html page. Okay. And this is your app component. Which component? And what is this? This is your. So what you're doing ultimately is you're trying to make this what app available to the index, and here is your client. So this index.js, are we clear? This index.html file is made available to the user. So when the user asks for what? Everybody. Okay. So actually he sees index.html page, but actually what data comes from? It comes from the app, and through index.js, you're making it available to the index.html page. So if I go back to my code and in my app.js, if I delete some of the record which are really not needed, like Header to header, if I delete it and I write only what welcome and save my file, you see the data changes and I only see welcome. Can you check and confirm? Yes, already, everyone. So this message is shown to you as a form of what welcome. So I can see it is a very simple message coming up. Now, if I want, I can go back and create few more components into my code. So for that, in case if you want to add few more components, what I'll be doing, enter my src. Everybody, watch it under my src. Okay, I would like to end up with creating new folder name called what? Components. And inside my components, I would like to create a new file name called what? Mainapp.js. This mainapp.js is the new component I'm creating it. So we are saying export default class mainapp extends component. Remember, this component comes from which library? Everybody, React. So this is how you actually create what? Everybody, the component. This is your class name, and this is how you're extending this component. This is the compulsory. Now you have to use render function, which is a predefined function. And here you have to use what? Return. And you use a div tag and say welcome to main app. See, a very simple message. So render function belongs to main app, which returns what? Some HTML elements for you. So my HTML elements is what? Welcome to main app. That's it. Okay. So just check and see if you have created this class. And after this class is created, so you will be making this class as a child of what? Everybody, as a child of what? App.js. So to make this class as a child of App.js, what you need to do? Everybody, I'll be making this child as an app of what child. So main app becomes a child of app, and it is only possible when this main app you declare it under where in app.js just below this. You see, the moment you say main app, auto suggestion will come, hit enter, and you see the main app is imported here. And you see in your browser, both the messages are printed. Welcome, which comes from the app.js, and welcome to main app, which comes from the welcome to main app.js. So Riaz, are you clear? Neither? Ravish?
Yes,
Everybody?
sir.
Arun, are you all clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so please go ahead, get this implemented, and let me know your answers in a chat once your code is ready and working. Please confirm already. Seems it's working fine for all. So here you see you have made the main app as a child of what? Everybody, app.js. Guys, please confirm. Shall we go ahead now? Yes, everybody. Okay.
Yes.
So now you have your components with you. Can I give you one task here now? Everybody, can I give you one task? Can you go back and create two more components like what? Can we do it like this? Everyone, please confirm. Can we do it like this? I want to make header and footer as a child of main app. Can we?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so please go ahead, make it happen and update me in a chat by typing done if you have ready.
Amarjit, I have a query there.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Amarjit, as you said that we are creating components for each and every segment. It's like divided and distributed, right? So the
Yeah.
components should be in a HTML page or it should be in JS or what is that component? I mean, it's a HTML page invoking all the JS and CSS, or it is a JS that uses the HTML tag.
It is a JS which invoke the HTML for you.
Okay, so the component should be in a JS format, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, everybody, all good? I'm still waiting for the others to confirm. So how you people have done it, may I know? So here, I'm going to create a new file, name call. Okay, so like main app, and give the name to what? Same goes for footer. I'll make it as a child of what here? What I said. Header, footer. And if you see, the outcome shows just the way it is supposed to be. Okay, now we have got those messages very clear, written for our development. Okay, now once we know our option for adding this header and footer into our code, okay, so what is the next step you're planning now? Yes, everybody, what is the next step you're planning now? Next thing, what we want to add few more components into my project. Like as we have added header and footer, I would like to also add few more components. Like the one more component I would like to add it here is users. I would like to add one more called user. So you know that user is a child of users and users is a child of main app. And I would like to add one more. And that name I want to give it is a call what? Call user. Okay. So just attach it like this. Okay. So total how many components we're expecting? 3 more. Users, user, and add user. And remember one thing, users and add user will be the direct child of main app and user will be the child of users. Are you clear, everyone? Everyone, please confirm. Are you all clear? Okay, so go ahead, get this implemented and let me know. You need any help? Do not hesitate to ask me, please.
Amarjit, could you please show me the main app.js? Thanks.
Just keep me posted once the code is ready. All good, everyone? So seems like for everybody, the new components which I told you are all set up and ready. So now, like this, I've asked you to create one more, which one I'm giving the name called users.js. So here last but not least, but this user will be the child of users. Okay, and last but not least, we need one more. Okay, this add user, I'll be making it as a child of what main app. So this is how my application finally look like. Let
We
me
have
check.
given main app inside main app. It's possible.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to add here call for add user. This so here we have got components are coming up. Okay, so all components are working as expected. Okay, so component-centric architecture, as I said to you, that they will be responsible to perform the dedicated job what they are meant to, and here they are. All good. Well, going ahead, I would like to tell you about one very important thing. And when you work on a React application of the component-centric architecture, when you want to share the data, component, again, I'm telling you, when you want to share the data between the component, what do you use? You use two things. One is called what? Props and state. So props is the one through which always a child component expect the data from the parent. What I'm saying? The child component always expect what? The data from the parent. But how? That's the first question. Okay. So to make this possible, what I will do here in my component, please watch out carefully. This main app, which is the parent of all the components. So here I will be defining one property like in what? Which message? Welcome to header. Okay. This property, header data, this could be any name. I'm passing it to my header, like how I see HT HT is just a variable name. Okay, and here we are passing what? Everybody, what? Header data. So in expression, we are passing this header data to the header using which variable? Everybody, HT. So HT is a variable which will be used inside the header when I'm passing this value. Okay, so this HT, we are passing it where? Everybody, this HT, we are passing it where? To my, come on, to my header. So this message, I'm removing it and I'm using what? Everybody, this dot props. This is a predefined dot HT. What is HT? HT is a variable which I'm passing it to my header holding this header data. And now you can see the data works just the way it is expected. Okay, so just try this and confirm if it is ready and working.
Could you please open that header.js?
Both files are opened side by side. Please confirm if it is working. So if it is working fine, so can I do the same thing for my footer also? Everybody, can we do the same thing for the footer also? Please try to do the same thing for the footer and confirm, please. Done with the footer part? So what you thought of utilizing with the footer, may you know? Yes, everybody, how you think you've done with the footer part? In the footer part, what you're saying? The same thing. Sorry, under the main app. And just say footer data. And this FD will be getting it how? Are you clear? Yes, everybody, please confirm. Are you all clear? Yes, everybody, please confirm. Are you all clear? Great. So friends, before we proceed ahead, can we go back and take a tea break now? Everybody? Yes, everyone, can we go back and take a tea break now? Okay, so it's a 20 minutes of break. Okay, so we'll be seeing you back in next 20 minutes. Okay, to resume our session. Okay, so 11:30, we will resume. Please be on time. Okay, thank you.
Amarjit, I have a query. Can I ask?
Yeah,
Let others go for break. I just want to ask
yeah, tell me,
something.
is the query?
instead of hd equal to parenthesis header data, I have put hd equal to parenthesis footer data, and it's working for me. So what does that hd means?
HD is just a variable you are
Okay.
assigning to the header to get the value of header data. So
So
just
what if I assign the same hd in footer as
see, that's okay. If you want to use the same HD to footer,
well?
okay, so here you can use what?
Oh,
These are the local variables.
okay.
These are the
So why
local.
I am not unable to define this constants in that footer.js and header.js? Why
Sorry, 1 second, could you please repeat it?
can I declare that constants in footer.js and header.js? So why I'm just declaring the constants variable in main app.js?
No, reason why I'm telling you because parent want to pass some data to the child for reusability.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's how exactly. So here in a React, what we're trying to do, we would like to create some declarations, and here the data flows from one direction, parent to
So,
child. So parent
uh,
declaring something and child is trying to consume those data. It's like this.
oh, okay. In a return statement, you have a div, right?
Yes.
Can I declare another div in that return statement because it's throwing
No.
error?
The return will have only one opening and one closing. Under the div tag, you can have n number of div tags kept in, but there should be
Okay.
only one opening and there should be one closing. This is as per the rule.
Okay, that it might be div or some other tag,
Anything,
right? So it
anything.
can.
It could be anything, not necessary div, but it has to be one opener, one closure.
Okay, thank you. That's
Okay. So see you after the tea break. Thank you. Hello everyone. So are we all back from the break? Everyone, no problem. Guys, I request you to those who are not speaking, please keep yourself on mute. So we have got those options ready with us. We are keeping for main app component or something like this. Or now we would like to deal with some real data. So suppose from main app, I would like to have one more type of data coming up like in what? Come on, honest. Okay, we have a property like in what? Admin manager and QA. Okay, so this user data, I can pass it to whom? Come on, to the users. Please watch it carefully. Using what? Equal to user data. So what you understood is we not only can pass string, but we can also pass what? Array. So we are passing what? The user data using which property? Users. Okay. So in my users, what I'll be doing now? I'll remove this welcome to users. Rather, I'll be using what? This dot props dot users dot. Now users is the what? Users is pointing to the array. Correct? Everybody? Guys, users is pointing it to what? To the array. So what I'll be doing now, I'll be using which function? Map. Map means what? Whenever you have an array, so to iterate this, I'll be using always one variable name called what? Everybody? Map. And here we are passing UD. It's just a variable name. Okay. And here I am using what? This users. Okay. What I'm doing? Everybody, I'm passing what? I'm passing this user. Okay. And saying what? This UD, what am I doing now? I'm saying user. Come on, what we're saying? U data equal to what we're using? UD. Like this. Are we clear? Everybody? So what we did it once again, let me tell you. So in my application, everybody, in my application, what I did is I iterated the users. What is the users? It is the data which is coming up from my parent, which is holding the array. I used a map function to iterate and use a local variable name called UD. So what I did it to my user, I pass this data further down to my child component name called user, using which variable? UData, and using what? UD. So I will go to the user. Okay, and what variable I used here? UData. So I'll be saying what? Everybody. Yes. dot props new data. That's it. And you see, my code will be helping me to get all the records whichever I need it. Make sense, everyone? So users is passing this data to its child user using which variable udata. So same UD I'm passing it here, and child component we are iterating like this. So please confirm everybody. Are you all clear what I said? Okay. So just try and check and confirm and let me know whether your code is working as expected, it is supposed to be. Just let me know if you're all ready so that we can go ahead and move on. You need any help? Do not hesitate to ask me, please. So 3 members have updated me so far. I'm waiting for the others to confirm. Okay, everybody. So if it is done, then it's time for us to go ahead to discuss more about next. Okay, everybody. So what you are looking at it now, let me close all the files. Okay, so finally I have got this component with me. Okay, we were passing the data and taking the data accordingly. Now, along with this using as a props means what? If child component wants the data, again I'm repeating, if child data wants data from whom? From the parent, they always use which option? Yes, everybody, they always use which option? Props, correct? Now, going ahead. Now, in my next development, here we would like to deal with some events. Add user is a function for me where we have a welcome to add user. And this welcome to add user, I would like to create a one function name called add user. And here we are using alert. User is added. So this is a function for me called add user. And here I would like to create what one button. And inside this button, I can say add user. And now I can attach one event called what? One click equal to what? Add user. So when you invoke this add user as a function, you remember you never use a round brackets. You always use this dot add user in a curly braces. No parenthesis is really required here for this. Okay. And now when I go back to my code, I see there's a one button and you can see the alert method is being called. So this is how the event is being invoked. Can you please check and confirm if it is getting called for you? Just check and confirm. Done? Yes, everybody done? So it's working. Now there is a small change I want to make it in order to give you the idea here. Now do one thing. Now use one form tag and close this form tag right after this. And now tell me, after wrapping this into the form tag, whether the experience remains same or changed. All set? What the difference you see? No, it is not same. Krishnan, you see now when I try to refresh button, when I click on the button, you see the page is getting refreshed, correct? Earlier the page was not getting refreshed. Now you see. Yes, everyone, correct? So this is what we want to prevent. We do not want the form to be, just get unnecessary detached. So that's why we would like to make it now. So how are we going to be making it? Yes, everybody, how are we going to be making it now? Any idea? So to make this possible, what we would like to do now is here, we would like to pass on E as a parameter and we will say E dot prevent default. What is saying? E dot what? Prevent default. Now if you try again, you see the page is not getting refreshed, correct? So E is the event object, prevent default is a function belongs to that. Okay, everyone. So you are trying to prevent its default nature. Okay, and now I would like to collect the value from the text box. So we are using what? Okay, so you ever got what? The text box. You see the text box is coming up. What I want is, I would like to capture the value of this text box and I want to print it here. So to make it possible, first thing what you need to do is this function, you'll be calling it where? Here in a form. In on submit. Remember, you should not use on click, you should use on submit. And second thing, what you will be doing now, here you will be using const data equal to E dot target. What is the property name? Uname dot value. So remember, this is a predefined. E dot target dot elements, it's a predefined. Uname is a text box name and value is the one which you would like to receive it and store into which variable? Data, and you are passing it like this. So let's check. I hope you're clear now. Krishnan, are you clear? Arun, Rajendran, I hope you all understood. Okay, so this is the predefined and followed by uname.value. Just check and see if it is working.
Anushit, there is one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Chitra. So we are entering different values in this text, right? So why isn't that refresh not happening now?
Because we said prevent default. Prevent default will by default prevent its default nature of your application.
Okay, so here it would be the on click action because it is a default action. We are preventing its reload. Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay. Thank you.
All good? So I'm sure that this value has been taken. Okay. Now, see, this area which we have discussed is so-called what? Everybody, the area which we have discussed so far is so-called what? A typical event handling, what you actually know for. But before I proceed ahead, I wanted to know, anybody need any help? Okay, clear. I think there's no question. That means there is no doubt. Going ahead. Now, I need a small task for you to be provided. Are you all ready for the new task now? Everybody, are you ready for the new task? Everybody, please confirm. Are you all ready for the new task? Show me the confidence, please. I'm anyways there to help you out. Okay, so here's a new task for you. Are you clear, everyone, with my requirement? Yes, everybody, please confirm. Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay, so please go ahead, make it happen, and let me know with your answer done in a chat window. Seems like you people have done it. So let's try to see how the logic was implemented. So what you did, number one, everybody, you people have created which file? You're calling this increment function. You're saying incremental got called. Okay. And what else? No form is really required here. We say okay. And this counter I can attach it to where? Okay. So likewise, your code is now ready and working. Now, what we really want in this code is, as I said, that I would like to deal with what everybody, the next property called state. See, remember the props are read-only. You cannot change the props in a React application, but the states keep changing. Like suppose if you upload any picture or any message in a Facebook or Instagram, initial number of reviews or views remain 0, but over the period of time they keep increasing, correct? Correct, everybody? So it keep happening. So state is always keep changing into the code. So today I'm talking about one concept like and what, come on. State management. What I'm talking about, everybody? State management. In this state management, there are 3 steps are available. Number 1, initialize the state. Second, which is so-called render the state. Initialize what? Initialize the state with default value. Render the, and third will be what? And last but not least will be what? After update. So these are some steps are available here in your React. So how will I do this now? So here in my application, in my counter, what I will do? I will initialize my state using what? I'm declaring one property like in counter, initializing with value called what? 0. And here we are saying what will be using this dot state dot what? Counter. And you see the initial value which I will see it here is called what? 0, because that is how it is initialized. So this satisfied two condition, initialize the state and render the state. Are we clear? So this is how we are doing this. Initializing the state, and second is what? Rendering the state. So whenever you want to render the state, remember you should always use what? This dot state dot what? The property name. And the second thing will be I want to increment this. So in my increment, what I will do? Here you will be incrementing, you will be saying this dot set state. What are you saying? This dot set state, and inside the set state, whatever the value you will be incrementing it. Okay, so that value you have to use it. So here in the set state, you will be passing one property like an what? Prev state. What do you mean by prev state? Prev state means it will be a previous state, whatever your application will be holding it. Okay, and here we'll be holding the current value, whatever your code will be doing it. And what exactly? Here we'll be saying the state property is what? Come on, counter colon prev state dot counter plus one. And now you see the values is getting incremented. Clear? So what you did, everybody, once again, let's understand the code. Increment is a function under which you're calling the set state. It's a predefined function. Set state is a predefined function. It takes the previous state. Previous state means it could be any state. It could be the 0 value, it could be 1, it could be 2. So previous state will always hold the previous state. What your application may holding it. If it is 1, it will be holding 1. If it is a 2, it will be holding 2. And in this, you are saying return counter, you are getting the previous state and increment the value by what? Plus 1. And this is satisfy the third condition called what? Update the state. For re-rendering, you do not need to do anything because this will automatically happen. Are you clear, everybody? Everyone, please confirm. Are you all clear? This is very important concept of state management. So please try to get this implemented. In case if you have any questions, do let me know, please.
Ahmed, you there?
Yeah, please tell me.
Increment is a function, right?
Increment is a function, yes.
Okay. State is a function, right?
State is not a function, state is an object.
Object. Okay. So from the increment function, I can call the object called state, and I can access the property of that object, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So whatever objects I have written and what other properties I do have, I can, without the object name, I can access the properties of the
Very
object
much.
directly from a function.
Very much. Because it is a predefined name.
State is a predefined name. Huh?
Yeah. State is a predefined name. That's why
Okay.
you
It's
know.
not a custom name.
Yeah. So that is why you are not using any state property to get the counter, correct?
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
Mojit, one more doubt. Here we are not using that e dot previous that prevent default. Still, the page is not refreshing. Why?
Because you use the prevent default when you submit the form. Here you calling this on your button click. Whenever
Ah,
whenever you say on submit on the form, then use the prevent default, otherwise not needed.
oh, got it. Thank you.
So let me know if the code is working fine, please.
Yeah, yes.
Uh, are you there?
Yeah. Please go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes. So this previous state, is it like whatever follows in that set state will always
Yes,
will always be whatever variable we are giving it, it will be always denoting the previous state of that
correct.
property. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi Amarjit. One doubt. Like this state initialization, this increment function is can we write this logic inside the render function, or is it is it a certain rule like all the function definition and all the computation logic it should be outside the render function? Is it
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. So what happens? So your declarations of any property must be under the render. You remember, like previously, all declarations we have kept it under where? Under my render function. But all functions should be, because render itself is a function, correct? So function
Yes.
should not hold another function. That's why we kept this as an outside. So whenever
Okay. Okay. And
so whenever you declare any function, it should be kept outside of your render. It should be directly the part of your counter class or any class, whichever you say.
okay. Okay. And this functionality of this render function is it to render that particular uh, div section
HTML.
to
Yes.
the UI. Is it?
Yeah. So whatever you write it under the render, so under the return keyword, whatever you have it, that will be displayed to the end HTML. That's how exactly it is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hope you're clear.
Yes, it's clear now. Thanks.
So if it is working fine for all of you, I request you to kindly go ahead and implement what decrement and reset also.
Amar, for the research, I have to set the counter value 0, right?
Correct.
So
It is
I
initial
mentioned
state. In
that
case
this
of
dot set state, which is previous state, counter colon 0, but it's throwing some error.
But no, sir.
Not seeing any
Just
success.
check the spelling. See, even if I put 10 also, your initial value remains what? See, initial value remains 10 for you. So you are getting error in your program.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a look to your code if you
Sure.
can share your screen?
You know, save this next one. Am I missing any syntax? I'm doing any syntax error.
Return statement is missing. Before the opening of curly brackets, return.
Anybody else need any help? Kindly do let me know. Okay, everybody. So this seems like working and people don't have any challenge in your code, correct? So if you are clear with this logic and if it is working fine, I will go back to where? To my original code. Which code? Everybody, to my main app. And from my main app, you remember about we had these 3 states available with us. Everybody. So what I will do, I'll transfer it to state by saying what state equal to. What I will do, come on, everybody. Here. And I remove this cons from here and use what? Come on. Okay, so we have a now total number of 3 states are available under the state object. Got it, everybody? And now here, rather than saying header data, I will be saying what? Okay, just check and confirm if the code is working fine as expected. Yes, everybody, is it working? I'm sure like you people are clear about how exactly this is, correct? Now, since you're basically shifting to state, now certainly I need few more important things like the current array, which I'm having it. I do not want any data as of now because data I want to be more value to be get automatically attached here. So what I want is this value, I want to add a dynamic data, and for that I need one custom function here. What function name? Come on, everybody. Add user. Correct? This add user, we would like to have some logic written here. And what logic we want for component? Come on, what do you think? What logic I need to write it to add the user? Yes, everyone? Yes, everyone, tell me, if I want to add the user into my code, what do you think I need to do now? Because I want to add the user, correct? So what logic I need to write it down? What I'll be using it? And what I'll be doing it to add the user? In add user, I'll be holding what? Come on, data. The one user will be passing it. And what I'll be doing now? Everybody, user data colon prev state dot user data dot concat. Concat is a predefined function of array. I'll concat with what? The data I'm expecting it from the client. Are you clear, everybody? Yes, everybody. Are you all clear? So whatever data client is passing it, okay, that data I'm concatenating with what? With this user data. User data is my array. That's simple. And this add user function, I'll be passing it to whom? Guys, could you please tell me? This add user function, I'll be passing it to whom? Everybody. To which particular component? Here, correct? Everybody. So you understood now that we can pass a function as a parameter also. If I say AU equal to what? Add user. Are we clear? If I'm passing this function as a parameter to it to the add user using which property? AU. So what do you think in add user I need to do? Come on, what do you think I need to do it in an add user? Come on. And to use this dot what? Props dot AU and pass what? Come on. The data, what I'm collecting it from the client. Correct? Everybody, please confirm if you understood the logic here. Friends, please confirm. Are you clear with the logic here? Everyone? Super. So now if I go back to my code and check, you see the admin is added. You see admin12 is added. You see it's quite beautifully it is adding and the state is getting changed, which earlier the state was what? Come on, empty. And now this state is now concatenating with what? With the new data, whatever I'm expecting from the client. Okay, so that comes under where? Under, come on, add user, which I'm passing it to here. Okay, so please go ahead, everybody, and try implementing the same and update me in a chat if your code is working as expected. And update me by typing done. Okay, so seems few members have updated me that this add user part is working fine for all. Okay, now just like an add user, the user is getting performed. So can we also perform to delete all the records? Everybody. So if I want to delete all the records, what do you think I need to do now? Everybody. Guys, what do you think I need to do? What I'll be doing now?
Empty.
This dot set state. I do not need to pass anything as a previous state because I want to make everybody clear. I'm having what? Clear. And where do you think the delete user I'll be passing it? I'll be passing it to users. Using which property? DA. DA I can call it as a short form of delete user and go back to where? To my users. And here I'll be having one function name called what? Or button name called what? What you're passing? Okay. Let's check what is the name. We have a called DA. Let's say main app.js line number 23. Oh, I forgot to put return. Now, if I try to add any user, see, all gone. Got it? Yes, everyone, all clear? Yes, everybody, all clear? So that is the beauty of having this state managers centrally. So you see, this is the function, okay, and we are passing this function here, okay? Just check and confirm if the code is working as expected.
Amarjeet, is it necessary to pass these functions and do it in the different components, or we could just add a button here and invoke the
No,
function?
no, no, no. See, wherever the state is being shown, only that component should be responsible to act on this, correct? So
Okay,
that's why.
okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
I'm still waiting for all of you. Kindly update me the status. Okay, cool. So it seems like it is working fine for all, but I also want to make sure one more important thing, everybody here. And what exactly the expectation is? Everybody, the expectation is this. When I say delete all, there is no records left. So in such cases, this delete all button should have been disabled. Are you getting my point, everyone? Everybody, this delete all button should have been disabled if there is no record available, and it should be enabled only when at least there is a one record available here. So how are you going to be making this possible? Everybody, how are you going to be making this possible? Very simple. Again, the state management will come. Now we have a user data. So in my users class, once again, what I will do? Come on. What I'll be using it now? Okay. So has data will carry the value depends on length is greater than 0. I'm just checking this out. So has data will hold the value whether the records are there available or not. And this has data I'll be using it where? Come on. In my users. And what I'll be doing it now? Sorry, in my users. And what I'll be doing it now here? Come on, I'll be saying disabled equal to what? Exclamation mark this dot props dot has data. Okay, so that means this button will be disabled if there is no record available in your array. Correct, everyone? And now you can see in your code what is happening here now. Everybody, if I open up my application, the delete all button is disabled. And the moment I add at least one record, you see it is enabled again. And the moment I say delete all, you see the button get disabled again. So there's no point where the user will be unnecessarily clicking on the button. Are you clear, everybody? Logically, what I'm trying to say? Yes, everyone, please confirm. Are you all clear logically what I'm trying to say? Kindly revert. Great. So could you please try and check if this is working fine for all and update me quickly? Okay, this is what the value we are passing it and this is how we are disabling the button. Just check and let me know in a chat if the code is working fine. So hope it is working fine for all. So here is the next question for you. So from main app, I'm trying to get this data available to the other components, whichever are there needed. Okay. Now, here's a task for you. Right now, if you see in your code, there's no error right now, but if you see the inspect section here in a console, everybody in a inspect section, if you see in a console, you see this is an error coming up saying that each child should have a unique key prop. Just check if you're able to see the same error message. Are you on? Certainly. The reason is being why this error message is shown because according to the rule of React, whenever you're trying to iterate any data, okay, so that particular data contains always a unique value. And if you do not maintain that uniqueness, okay, so while deleting or manipulating or updating any record, there may be chances you may not get any proper input accordingly. Okay, and that's why we are trying to use one tool here for key property. So whenever you have a map option, whenever you're iterating it, where we are iterating in my users, here we do which property? Key. Ask what would be. So what would happen? It will hold the value which remains unique, so that tomorrow if you want to perform any updates or deletes, okay, this key will automatically maintain the index property internally. Now if I refresh, you see the error goes off, and if I perform any addition here, you do not feel any more error here. So that is a benefit which you get it. Okay, so just check and see if you're able to also see the same. Just confirm if you're able to. Great. So you are understood now how the keys are playing what an important role for your code. So this is how your application is. Welcome to header. Welcome to main. And so there are few changes I can basically make it in my header main app. I can write a very simple message welcome to. And this in my header, I'll put it where? In my heading. Welcome to main app. I really don't need this. Okay. In app.js, I really don't need this. Okay. Welcome to add user. In main app, sorry, in add user. You see, here we are using this now. And add user is showing like this, and welcome to footer, whichever we're using it. Okay, so from here, you can basically pass to make more sense. And counter applications, I really don't need it as of now. So here, my application looks quite simple and easy to manage. Can you make those changes quickly, everybody? Just make those changes quickly and let me know. Unnecessary details, I've removed it. Just make the changes and confirm. So I hope everybody, whatever has been covered, you all are comfortable and clear. Yes, everybody, please confirm. Whatever has been covered today, are you all comfortable and clear? Everybody, the kind of explanation, the examples, and the flow. Because see, friends, I do not believe on, talking and doing any kind of stuff which is really not make sense regarding this learning PPT oriented. I want to make the training has to be more driven into what? Into the practical sessions rather than PPT. However, I'm sharing some PPTs to all of you so that it will be helpful for you in case if you want to review those offline. Hope it is okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me share the PPTs with you. 1 second. So those PPTs will helpful for you to actually go back and review the things accordingly. Okay. Let me I'm just sharing the link with you. Just give me a second. Did you get this link in a chat, everybody? Everyone, did you get this link in a chat? Okay, so this is a link where all the necessary materials has been given, which you can review, okay, and let us know. Okay, so friends, that's it. We have it done for today. So thank you very much for joining the session. Okay, but Riaz, what you can do, you can open it from your personal or private network, like in your personal home network. I'm sure it will be helpful for you. Okay, I know that in your company network it will be blocking, but otherwise it will be. Okay, so thank you everybody. So see you soon. So that's it for today. So enjoy for the day. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed the session. Everyone. Sure. Thanks a lot, everyone, and have a great day to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.